record here. So I was practicing the other day and just sort of looking at this body and how, if you look at your body, there's really not a straight line on the whole thing. I dare you to try to find a straight line somewhere on in your body. It's just not there. We're soft, we're round, we're squishy, and I think we don't do ourselves any favors when we try to really square ourselves into certain poses to align this quest for perfection that sometimes bleeds out onto the yoga mat. I know for me, certainly sometimes it does anyway. So just a reminder that perfection is not what we're going for. Perfection is kind of a poison in disguise, actually, and that our bodies are organic and squishy and very non geometric. And so, to keep in mind what Mary Oliver said, that you only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves or move how it moves. And so, we'll do a pretty simple kind of a practice today, but sometimes the simplest container is a really beautiful place to bear witness and to really be with the soft, squishy, non-organic, non-linear animal of your body in a really attentive way. And so just to be attentive right now and to climb inside of it, especially if you have a tendency to want to get out sometimes or to numb out or to check out, but let's really climb in and lean in and hold ourselves with some tenderness today. The world can be challenging, so we've got to bring our best to it. Bringing when the world gets hard, we've got to counteract that with a really strong force of tenderness. And so you could maybe wrap your arms around yourself or touch your body somewhere if you're not already. And let the breath start to move you. Feel your body, how it changes shape as you breathe. Notice that the breath might come like ocean waves. There's little ones, and every once in a while there's a big swell. But just let your body change shape as you breathe without you imposing any restriction on that. So, whatever that feels like, whatever that means, might mean that you imagine where the diaphragm is in your body and try to soften all around that place so that your breathing muscle can really move as it wants to. And that might also mean that there's some softening that happens in the belly or in the low back or in the shoulders or in the throat and the mouth and the nose area that allows your body to be breathed with less restriction, that allows the shape change, the organic shape change to happen. And I encourage you as we move today to keep coming back to that idea that we're squishy, that we're organic, that we're not straight lines, we're soft animals, and to enjoy that freedom and that play of softness in each shape that we come across. So you can start to make your way onto your back, however you get there. If you're not there already, many of you are already there, but otherwise just flip around onto your back. And we could right here on your backs in whatever shape you're in, knees straight or bent. Take a couple of breaths in and out, just a couple more of those soft, organic breaths that really allow the body to swell and to soften and to change shape. And with the next inhale, you could fill just a little bit deeper and open your mouth. Do that one more time, one big, wide, soft, shape changing inhalation. The exhale, we can if you'd like to join. Oh. If you wanted to hit play for using a playlist, go for it. And we'll come right into a happy baby to start with today. A good soft shape change to begin with. You can reach up for your feet or ankles or anywhere, backs of the knees. You can do any amount of wobbling around. Snuggle in, and we'll stay with it for just a moment. I wanted to share one more Mary Oliver with you before we really get rolling today. Another encouragement to be in your soft nature. And so this one is so beautiful. It's from Thirst. She says, "Around me, the trees stir in there." Oops, I missed the beginning. When I'm among the trees, and you can just hang out in happy baby for a bit here. Let all the parts just kind of absorb the shape, let it seep in. When I'm among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me, and daily. I'm so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness, discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. I love that one phrase there. I'll read it one more time. I'm so distant from the hope of myself, in which I have goodness, discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches. And again, they call. It's simple, they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. You too have come into the world to do this, to be easy, to be filled with light and to shine. So go ahead, take the left foot down, keep the right leg where it is, and half happy baby, and put your left foot on the floor, either bent knee or straight leg. Either way is great. Have another moment where you wobble and snuggle around a little bit and half happy baby. And then we'll turn that into an ankle to knee here. So right foot can hook over the left knee, and you could gather your legs in towards your chest. One more moment to snuggle and wobble, and then eventually you'll rock over onto your left side into the twist and just fall over onto that left hip, and your arms can splay out and open like tree branches, and imagining that every pore in your skin is like a leaf in your canopy. And as you breathe, you rustle all the leaves, and the light comes in like you could drink the light in right through the pores of your skin, just like the trees drink it in through their leaves. You too were made for this, to go easy, to let the light in, to be a soft, squishy animal. So right from this twist, just sort of fall onto your back again into Supta Baddha Konasana. So feet together, knees apart, on your back, the feet on the floor, the knees draping open. So you're just on your back, just splayed out. Supta Baddha, your arms can go anywhere you like for a moment. But then we'll go from this kind of wide open shape to bringing the hands behind the head at the base of the skull. Collect your head. And as you exhale next, pull your knees in towards your nose and lift your head up. Bring your elbows into your knees. So just curling in like a tiny little crunch, a little acorn. And then going back to Supta Baddha, your hands can stay on your head. You just rest for a moment, feet down, head down, knees open. Do that 2 more times, going slowly here. So pulling everything in, knees collect in towards center, elbows collect in. Stay for a moment. We're not rushing at all today. And then back to Supta Baddha, laying your open knees down on the earth. And last time, knees come in, elbows come in, coil up. Try to coil up maybe just a tiny bit more. See if you can collect everything into the tiniest little ball possible. And then this time you'll let it go right back into happy baby. So reaching for your feet one more time on your back there. stay for just a moment. We were here for a while before, so we won't stay too long this time. We'll go right into the half happy baby. Keep the left foot with you and let the right leg come on down. And it can come down banter straight as you like, and have a moment there getting acquainted with the left side of your hips, left knee, ankle, all of it. Say hello, feeling into those very non-straight, non-linear bones, all the little bumps and curves of you, the hills and valleys. And then take that into ankle to knee. So bringing the right knee in, you can hook your left foot across it. Give yourself a little hug and draw the parts in closer towards your belly, your chest. Hold on anywhere that feels organic to hold on. And that'll turn into the twist. Go ahead and drop the legs all the way over. And this time you'll drop them over to the right. Arrange as you need to. You can move all the parts, right? You're trying to find an organic way to be that really honors the hills and valleys of your own body today. The non-geometric soft animal that you are, like an amoeba. As you breathe, can the whole of you breathe? As if the whole of you is just one soft, sort of pulsating cell that when you breathe, the whole thing expands and contracts. And then as you come onto your back, finding that Supta Baddha Konasana again, feet together, knees just draping open, hands behind the head. Let your head really rest. Could you feel as you come up? So we'll come back up into that crunch, bringing knees in and elbows in, and trying to let the weight of the head be held by the hands so that the neck doesn't have to work as hard. And then let it go back to the Supta Baddha. Hands can stay on your head, knees open. A deep resting breath. Feel the body changing shape as you exhale. And then one more time, bring it in. Curl knees in, elbows in, closing it all up. So you're like a really delicate night blooming flower, right? That curls up when the sun is too hot and harsh. But then when it's soft and sparkly at night, you open back up again. Go ahead. One last time here. Supta Baddha Konasana. Little tender bloom of jasmine that opened to the full moon. And then last time, pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. Stay, hug everything in as closely, as tightly as you can. And then just dissolve it. Just let it fall apart. We're going to come around to hands and knees. So you can flip on over and crawl onto your all fours and take a moment there to move your spine around, organically, just listening to where the spine wants to go. Might be cat cow, or it might be some other way that your body wants to move. And then coming to a downward facing dog. Perhaps with some appreciation for this shape that we've taken so many times, and yet each time it's kind of new. Walk your feet up to your hands, meeting your hands at the top of your space, and on your next in-breath, roll all the way up and reach your arms high. We'll do just a lovely ritualistic half sun salutation. So stand all the way up and then fold all the way back down. Coming up halfway, you can have fingers on floor or shins or knees, and then fold over your legs, some deep, deep spilling down. Rise all the way back up. You can roll up or come up with a flat back, reach up. Bring your hands to the heart and just pause for a moment. So we were talking the other day in class about tools to help your nervous system for this year of being in a really strange way. And one of the tools was music. This is from Christine Runyon, a psychologist. One was to play music that you love. One was to have smells around that you love. And one really simple one was just to stand with your feet on the ground as if you're really anchored and there's no like rushing forward, that you're not moving towards the toes, but you're really planted in your feet. So simple, so healing. Go ahead and reach your arms up again, arms to the sky. Fold all the way back down over your legs. Coming up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, and spilling deep surrender back down over the legs. Rise up on your in-breath, arms reach high, and hands landing at the heart and you landing in your feet. Pause. Do that one more time. Reach the arms up high, Urdhva Hastasana, and then fold all the way down. Come up halfway, light spine, and then fold. This time you can loop up your big toes if you can catch them. If not, bend the knees so that you can get your fingers all the way under there. Even if you got socks, you can kind of dig around in your socks. And then come up halfway again, a little bit more light in the spine. And then folding, and just keeping in mind that even as we do attempt to straighten the legs here, and it is sort of a linear pose, that there's still something very soft and organic about you. Right? That our legs, even when we try to straighten them, are not straight. Feel how, even if they are fully straightened through the knee, there's still something inherently not exactly straight about them. So, feeling your bones, your skeleton, its soft breathing, organic nature, that even as we try to take this straight pose here, that your bones are still somehow still floating in your body. And then letting that go, you can release the big toes, take your hands to the floor and step your right leg back and put the knee down. So if you need some padding under the knee, grab some padding there. Right knee down, left foot forward. Lift your arms up, just a simple knee down lunge. As you hold the arms, reaching for any wrist, doesn't matter, we'll do both of them. So grabbing one wrist with one hand, taking a side bend with it. So you're using it to pull over in the direction of that pulling hand for a breath. And then changing directions, take the other wrist in your hand and pull the other way. And then as you come on back to center, hands on either side of the front foot, curl your back toes under, coming to a pyramid pose. So right where your feet are, leave them. Just lift your hips up, lift the back knee up. And then you could scooch the feet around a little bit if you want to get the back foot more anchored. If you want to get the front knee bent and the floor feels far away, you could bring some blocks underneath your knees. That's it. And here too, so we're going to touch a few of these shapes that are sort of more quote unquote traditional, a little more geometric, but with the approach of tenderness, with the approach of like really feeling your body like an amoeba, like a tree, soft as a part of nature, not as a straight line. We're going to build it into a triangle from here. So really getting that right heel anchored now as you start to peel the left arm up. And make a triangle that you really feel like you fit well in. So any little like snuggles, wiggles around as the right arm flies up into the sky there. You just let yourself expand. That's it. Feel what holds you, feel the ground. And then emerge from there. Try to grow in all directions into the sky. And we'll stay a little bit. Stay, breathe, feel your body change shape as you breathe. Imagining all those pores like the leaves on your canopy again. You were made for this, to go easy, to let the light in. And then really simple, we're just going to take all of that in reverse. So come back to the pyramid, bring your right arm down, try to turn the hips forward again, but feel how they're not going to be perfectly square as you fold over that long front leg. And then coming all the way back down to the lunge. So lifting the right heel, put the right knee down. That's it. And then this time taking a half Hanuman here. So go ahead and draw your hips back and lengthen out the front leg and come to that just sort of what we call often a runner's lunge, right? Half Hanuman, and you can stay there and breathe a little bit. We're going to move this into a pigeon. So picking up your left foot with your right hand, you just grab it, pick it up and take it for a big plunk over towards the right side of the mat, and then start to shift your weight forward to come into pigeon here. And then you could pad up as you need to, any amount of gathering things. And so really up to you here. Just take a moment on your hands and decide, do I want to stay in a back bend for a little bit, Or do I want to come down into a fold over that front leg? So eventually we'll meet folded over the front leg, but there's no hurry. Some of you might even feel inspired to reach for the back foot here. Who knows? And eventually, when you do, you'll fold over that front leg. Perhaps there's even a feeling of compression as the belly rests over the foot or the shin or the knee. And you could think about your breathing again and feeling the breath at your edges, feeling the breath as it comes in, and just trying to think perhaps about where does the breath end and the body begin? Is there a boundary there? So we'll come not too far out of this pigeon just to roll down onto your back. So walking the hands back enough that you can sort of fall over that left hip and come onto your back. As you come onto your back, place your feet down on the ground, palms down on the ground, just a simple bridge. Lift your pelvis up. And as you do, you could gather the hands underneath you, rock the shoulders underneath your upper back, and really plug the feet in like we did standing in Tadasana. So, for your nervous system, for the benefit of your sweet little nervous system that's gone through so much, press your feet down into the ground, press the backs of your arms down into the ground, and really be here on the ground. Go ahead and let the arms go first and just drip your spine back down onto the floor. Stretch your legs out. Reach your arms overhead alongside your ears. You're going to roll back over onto your left side. So just roll onto the edge of you and then bend your right knee, the top knee, and reach back with your right hand to hold the foot. And you could just let the top leg, the bent right leg, rest on the bottom leg. Let your head rest on your upper arm. So a really lazy dancer pose, like you were gonna do dancer, but you know, it's early, it's 9 in the morning, so we're just doing it on our side. But you could refine it a little bit here by bringing the tailbone underneath you a little bit more, by bringing the right foot a little closer to the right sitting bone, and then maybe moving the knee back as you move the tailbone in. And even that, just that little bit, probably you're going to feel it. If you don't, try doing that more. Bring the tailbone in more. Bring the right knee back more. Bring the foot towards the sitting bone more. Take another breath. And then let your lazy dancer just dissolve. Drop that right foot back down to meet the left. Fall onto your front side. As you come onto your front side, take a cobra of any size, of any amount of wiggling or not. And then from cobra back to a child's pose. Rounding back, seat to heels, and snuggle in for a moment. We'll do that whole business on the other side. From child's pose, come to all fours, downward facing dog. And give your dog a walk or a hop from the back of the mat to the front. As you arrive, go ahead and roll all the way up to stand. Take your arms with you up high and fold all the way back down. Halfway lift, rustle the leaves, let the light in, let there be light between your bones, and fold again. So in your own time, do that twice more. Come all the way to stand and fold forward, and then come up halfway and fold forward. Right, you get the idea. It's half sun salutations, like trees, like the soft animals that you are, like amoebas. The light even come in underneath the armpits, light behind your knees, light underneath your shoulder blades, light between your fingers. And there's no hurry at all, but eventually can arrive in the standing forward fold. And this time you might take the peace sign fingers around the big toes again, or if you feel like you want to go a little further in this one, you could step your hands underneath your feet. If you got just a touch more room, try to step on the palms and get your toes to crawl right up into the creases of your wrists. Give your hands a little massage by pressing all the toes down. Yeah, you could rock your weight a little forward, back, or side to side to get into those hands even more. Something we don't think about often, but we use so much, in the computers and the phones. Poor little fingers working so hard. And then getting those hands back out, you'll step this time the left leg back. First, coming to a lunge with the knee down and the arms up. Arrange as you need to, pat as you need to, grab hold of one wrist, any one. We're going to do both and pull it over to one side. Pull the bones apart, make room for the light and the breath. Come back and pull it over to the other side. And as you come back this time, hands coming down, tuck the back toes under two straight or straight-ish legs or two props under the hands to help you get the legs straight. Pyramid pose. Try to get the back heel down, but don't force your hips to be square because they won't be. We're not built like that. So honor how you are built and just snuggle yourself into a place that feels right for the soft animal of you. Feel your body change shape as you breathe. Imagine your bones, even here in this very geometric shape. Imagine your soft bones just floating inside the sea of you. And then turn that into a triangle. Start to raise it, build it, reach the left arm up. But keep pulsing, keep playing. Shift any which way to get it to feel like it really suits you today. Make it come alive with your breathing. I love that sort of meditation of where does the breath end and the body begin. It really helps me. I don't know if you all might feel that way too, but just to meditate on that in each shape, to feel the breath come in and follow it, feel it absorb. Where does the breath end and the body begin? And then go in reverse. Turn your nose and chest back towards the ground, pyramid pose. So there's a touch of squaring in the chest and the hips, but it's not forced. And then coming down to that lunge, bringing your back knee down, wiggle the foot back as you need to. And turn that into the half Hanuman. So the hips go back, the right leg heads towards straight, and you fold over it. You paint the breath up and down the back of the right leg. Feeling that amoeba-like sense still. The body breathes, the body's being breathed in the midst of everything. The body's being breathed. Look at your right foot, pick it up with your left hand, bring it over towards the left side of the mat. You could stay there a bit. Yeah, and then head towards the pigeon. Gather your things. And then like you did before, playing perhaps there's a back bend that happens. Perhaps there's a calling just to keep it really quiet and fold forward. Perhaps there's a twist, anything. then you'll just kind of pour your way down onto your back. So gather the hands in enough that you could take a little spill over that right hip onto your back. Feet on the ground, knees bent. Simple bridge, arms by your side to start with, and then they could climb underneath you and clasp your hands, wiggle the shoulders so you have a good foundation under your heart to lift from, and feeling the whole of both feet on the ground, backs of the arms on the ground. That's it. Just real simple. And then come on down, releasing the arms and then releasing the spine. Take a rest for a moment, and then invitation. If you'd like to take a wheel pose, you might take a wheel here. Otherwise, you could take another bridge. Yeah, if you need some grippy mat under your hands, that's smart. Shift over. See, you're all very, you know what you're doing. Your body is very smart. Let it just do its thing. Let it tell you where it wants to open. Let it show you in which direction it wants to move. Let it love what it loves. So you're bridging or you're wheeling, and then you're gently, gently coming back down to the ground, and we'll roll onto the right side body to take that lazy dancer on the right side. So right arm by your ear, fall onto the right side, bend your left knee, hold onto the foot with your left hand. Heel towards sitting bone. You can let the knee drop. And if it wants to lift away from the left leg, that's fine too. But seeing if you could climb the tailbone in and create sensation. You don't have to move too much. It's subtle, but you can make a few little nuanced changes that really bring the whole thing alive. Let's say you could move the top knee back in space a little bit, but not so much that you fall over or you do fall over. That's it. Another breath. Light it up with the breathing. And then let it softly release. Fall back onto your front side. As you do, come on up to cobra or upward facing dog. You choose. And then downward facing dog in no rush. And this time, go ahead and walk your hands all the way back to your feet, the back of the mat, and give yourself a roll up there all the way up to stand, and from a lazy dancer to a not so lazy dancer. But perhaps you could remember the quality of rest in that lovely fallen on its side dancer, and try not to stray too far from there. As you stand on your right foot, you really spread it into the floor. Think about your nervous system, right? So really anchor, and then hold the left foot behind you. You can grab the ankle from the inside or the outside. Lift your right arm up. Feel the tailbone coil into the body. The heel towards the sitting bone to start with, and then eventually you could kick the foot away and let that draw you into any amount of a back bend. Yeah, some days are just wobbly days, aren't they? And you just gotta love the wobble. And some days aren't. And so you're finding a dancer that's just where you're at today. Uh-huh. Be a tree too. Let the breath, the wind come in to your pores, light in your leaves, anchor in your roots, and then come on down and just settle for a moment, just feeling, trying to, if you need to fix your clothes or your hair, go for it. And then just feel your 2 feet on the ground. Breath in, like you could drink the breath in through your feet like water through the roots of a tree. Drink it in. Drink it in and pull it up through your legs into your belly and heart. And then try the other side of your dancer. So really anchoring the left foot, holding the right. And just see what happens. Playful, playful. Remember, we're not going for perfection. Perfection is poison. We're going for play. Letting the soft animal of your body just unfold as it unfolds. Play as it plays. Shake and wobble as it shakes. As you're ready, Coming down. Yeah, if you want to try again, you try again. And when you do feel complete, come down and give it just a little bit of a shake or wobble. You can do just a swing of the arms around, back and forth, something just to shake that one off and come back to a real soft place if there was any rigidity that creeped in from trying to achieve that pose. And then a fold forward, you can drop the head and round down, or you can swan dive down. As you fold forward, walk yourself back out into downward facing dog. And when you arrive there, this time lift your right foot up to the sky behind you. That's it. Try to stretch the legs apart and come tippy tiptoes on your left foot. Maybe come to just to the tip of one or two of the toes on your left foot. And so you're really stretching the two legs as far apart as you can, like a universe apart. And then take your right foot up through the hands. Place the back knee down. And coming back to that half Hanuman, that runner's lunge, but invitation, if you feel any encouragement, any inspiration to want to come towards a full Hanuman, a full split shape, you could. So you got your right foot forward, you could draw the hips back and stay, or you could squeak the left knee back, even just a little bit. Doesn't have to be all the way. We're not trying to force anything. Just let your body move how it moves. It might come towards a split. It might want lots of props, or it might want to lovingly tell you, hey, we're staying in half Hanuman today and we're good here. And then coming back to feeling the body change shape as you breathe. Feeling the amoeba outside of your skin expand and contract. Feeling your bones floating. That's it. And then draw it all gently back into a downward dog. Kind of pull it all back in, shake it off for a moment, and we'll just keep it pretty simple today. Just doing the same thing on the other side. So first the left toes will lift up to the sky, and taking a few moments in this one-legged dog where you're coming tiptoes on the right foot, and your right foot is in one universe, it's in the Milky Way, and your left foot has gone on to a different universe. They're just stretching as far apart as possible. And then taking the left foot up through the hands to come into your version of this something looking like a split today. The back knee touches down. You can gather blocks, pillows, anything. You can start to straighten out the left leg. You could either move the left foot forward, that's one way, or the right knee back, or a little bit of each. You're made for this, to go easy. To go easy, she said. To go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. And start to collect it back in and take a downward facing dog without rushing. Yeah, shake it off. Roll your way out to a plank and come all the way down to the floor. Lay your belly down. Make a pillow with your head. Rest your hands on it, or cactus your arms and turn your head to one side. Great. Come on up to all fours. As you come on up to all fours, you're going to take your right knee and pick it up, cross it behind your left knee, and try to move your feet away from each other a little bit. And then just shifting forward and back with the hips a few times. So cross knees, just sort of hello, introducing this shape to the hips, and then eventually trying to move the feet as far apart as they'll go, and see if you can sit back between your heels. And if you need to get there another way, you all know by now that you can do that. However you get there, knees crossed, or maybe even the bottom leg is straightened out. And then we'll add arms, just taking here. So you've got your left leg on top, then you're going to take your left arm and bring it behind and underneath you, and see if you could take, I'll mirror you. So left leg is on top, left arm behind. Let's bring the right hand and try to reach it towards the left elbow or forearm, and just to help scooch it in just a little bit, and see if you can snuggle that left hand up your back a little bit more. And then you could try right arm up and behind your head, and see, just grab your t-shirt or just press your hands towards your back. That works just as well. And then to start with today, a couple of little circles here with the upper body. Try to keep your right elbow moving in and back, and just make a little circle one direction and then change, just one circle each direction. And then if you want to keep holding onto the hands, go for it. At any point, you can loosen them, but taking a forward fold over your crossed legs here. And if you got the arms in this Gomukhasana bind, stay just another breath or two, and then do loosen them so that you can really softly round and pour over your legs, and just feeling the weight of the body here. Let the weight of the body give it over and let it do the work for you. Feeling compression wherever you feel it. And I've been so loving just another simple, it's through these simple little meditative practices to use in asana. One is that idea of where does the breath end? And the other one is just taking sensation. Maybe you feel some compression here, and thinking about absorbing it. Or maybe it's even a thought. It's a thought, it's a sensation, it's a temperature change on the body, anything, a feeling of pulling or stretch. Think about it just being absorbed and spreading out into your body. And then you can slowly start to make your way up. And we'll take the legs open into a wide straddle to just have a first taste of this, just leaning forward a little bit. We'll come back to this one in a moment. So that was just a hello. Go ahead and scoop your legs in, and just a simple cross-legged shape. Doesn't matter which ankle is in front, just so that you can roll back onto your knees. Come to all fours, and this time tuck the left knee behind the right knee. Widen the feet a bit. Shift forward and back a few times until you can sit back between your 2 feet. And as you do that, right, you got the right knee on top, so arranging the legs as you need to, and taking first, and you're going to take right knees on top, so left arm is going to go, right arm is going to go behind you, right arm behind and snuggles up. And if you could try to move the left hand in the direction of the elbow to give it a little help, and then the other arm can come up and hold on. So holding on, if you got a sock or something you want to grab hold of, that works too. And then when you arrive wherever the arms are going to land today, just a little gentle circle of the upper body, top elbow still moving in and back. Circle one direction, then circle the other way, not in any rush here. And as you do arrive back to the center, you can keep the arms and fold a little bit forward or a lot forward. And at some point, do let those arms loosen away so that you can really allow the full weight of your body to provide some compression to your legs. And imagine that compression, it's just seeping in. It's seeping into the whole incredible electric matrix of tissue inside you. The whole body receiving the benefits here. Give your body's weight over. Hmm. So you might come up from there and open your legs out into a straddle now. And then from the straddle, this time we're going to take an extra little side bend. So walk it over to one side. Doesn't matter which side you pick. Any side, take a walk over and lift the opposite arm up. Just a simple little side bend for a moment there. And then let it fold back down over that side, over the long leg. Walk it back through the middle. Stay low and go all the way to the other side. So you start with a fold to the side and then it opens, the top arm coming overhead, more of a side bend. And back through the folds and all the way back to center here, and you can really stay with it this time for a little while, walking your hands out any amount. And yeah, you might grab your feet. That would be one option. You could grab lots of pillows or props to put your head or chest on. Okay, letting the weight of your body go. And just feeling the weight of you, delighting even. Could you perhaps delight in the weight of your body on the earth? The way your body organically changes shape as you breathe. The way your bones float like little boats with every inhale and exhale. As you come up from there, go ahead and gather the knees in. If you've got a block or a pillow or a blanket, anything that you've got, stick it underneath. The bolster would work too. Underneath your hips here on a small setting. So one pillow would work fine, a block on its small setting on its low side, and just let your legs float up in the air. And if you don't have any props, that's totally fine too. You can do this without a prop. Just letting the legs float, the arms are just by your side, nice and easy, or maybe they're even helping out by touching your body, giving your skin, your hungry skin, a little bit of touch. And then looking at your feet, just circle the ankles around, real simple, just circling the ankles and trying not to move the rest of the legs so that it's just the ankle joint circling. Do it a few times in one direction, a few times in the other direction. And then bending one knee. Let's just do the right knee. Bend the right knee. Keep the left leg there. And just lower your right toes till they just barely touch the floor. And then bring it back up. You can bend, keep the right knee bent, bend the left knee now. And left toes just barely touch the floor. And pick it back up. It's nice to have the hands on the body actually, because you can help to really keep the belly down and the back flat. So go back and forth like you're just doing a little, like you're walking, just tiptoeing, like you're trying to super tippy tiptoe on the floor, and you're letting that whole front body just be really soft and heavy and sink towards the back body. And if that's going okay and it's not like too terribly hard, then you could try both feet at once and see how that goes. Just barely, barely touching, and then back up like you're sitting in a little chair. Couple times, tippy tiptoes, just barely touching, and back up. And nice and slow, right? When you go slow, you really gotta work for it. And then the last time now that you do it, go slow, slow, slow. Maybe even when you get to the end, before your toes touch, just hover like just the width of a paper above the floor, like just barely there. And then put the whole foot down, soles of the feet pressing down. Press down into your feet, lift the hips up, take the block out, roll back down onto your spine, and coming back all the way back to where we started, happy baby. So you can pick your feet up, take a happy baby, and we've got so let's say another 2 minutes here. So anything that your body, just to really to listen and to see what your body might want. Do you want a shoulder stand or a plow? Do you want a Supta Baddha Konasana or a twist? Is there anything else here that the soft animal of you is craving? So take a few moments here. Even a headstand, you might want a headstand. And then in no rush, but as you're ready, you can make a place for yourself to rest. If you have a wall or a bed or a couch nearby, you might want to toss your legs up over it or onto it. You could gather any cozy things that help. Let the soft animal of you rest. Now you're like a little boat bobbing in the sea. Let the breath be really organic, maybe tiny little waves every once in a while, a big one that rocks your boat. Mm. Feeling very welcome to stay where you are. We're beginning the journey back, rustling your leaves, letting the light in, going easy. You know, if you take anything away today, let it be that you were born to be like this, like the trees, to go easy, to let light in, to be a powerful counterforce to some of the other stuff that's out there. You might bring your hands to your heart or together in a prayer. We could Om together one last time. Let all of our leaves rustle together. Take a big inhale. Thanks, everybody.